Well, let me say that all of the information that I give today is my personal opinion. It's not the state of Alabama or the Department of Human Resources opinions. These are just my personal opinions. Basically, if you're going to get Medicaid or government assistance to be in the nursing home, you have to dispose of all your assets and cover what you can cover of your cost yourself. So that usually means selling your house and any valuable assets. Now, like your personal property and stuff like that, normally nobody's going to say, oh, you've got to sell every piece of furniture in your house and you have to account for it. But I mean, like your house and your big items, Medicaid wants to know that you didn't give it away. You didn't give it to your grandchild, you didn't give it to your son or your daughter. So families were like, I'm not giving my house away. I've worked my whole life for that, and that's for my kids. Well, so it was mainly families who ended up not being able to care for their elderly loved ones because the person required too much care, and they were just so intent on not having to get rid of assets that the person ended up not being properly cared for. That's normally what we saw when I first started this, but now it's just so much more complicated. I mean, you still have those cases, but you also have all these scams and people who target these vulnerable adults, and some of them do have cognitive deficits due to age. Some of them do have mental or physical impairments that cause them to be susceptible. But it's just a growing area of concern. And the importance of balancing autonomy with need for services is paramount, and it is paramount for what the department does under the code. The Code of Alabama, Title 38, says that no person shall be deprived their due process, and that if a person does not want to voluntarily assume services, but they need them, the department has to go to court to seek the court's order to provide the services. So we can't just say, hey, look, you're going to do this and you've got to do this. The court, as I said earlier, the court makes those decisions, and then the department works with the person. So what I do and what I work with the courts to do is to not always do a full guardianship or a full conservatorship, but there are a lot of times where a person has the ability to make their own healthcare decisions. They may just not be able to manage their finances any longer. And so we can get a conservator to help that person manage their finances, to make sure that they're not sending money to scammers and that they're paying their bills, and that their medical needs are being met financially. But the person can still say, hey, I want to go to the doctor, or I have an opportunity. My doctor says I need a knee replacement, but he also says that it's very dangerous. And so I'm weighing my options, and I can make that decision myself. So, it's really important for a person to maintain as much autonomy as possible. And DHR is cognizant of that. And that's why I'm a big supporter of what the commission is doing and what Guardianship Alabama is doing, because they're working to educate people on the ways to not have all of your autonomy taken away if you do need help.